All right, man, I think I finally got it figured out. I'm gonna throw the ball through the kitchen window, off the doghouse, rocketing up and off the bird feeder, all the way through the target.
I don't know, man. That's a really tough angle. I think you got to ditch the bird feeder.
How long did that take you?
Couple hours.
You know you could have just gone off the porch column.
That's a good-looking plate of food.
The Eckridge $1 Million Challenge is back. Enter at EckridgeFootball.com for your chance to win.
What do you think? Seriously, dude?
Welcome in, along with Eric Eager. I'm Steve Palazzolo, and this is your PFF Top 25, brought to you by Eckridge, the official smoked sausage of the college football playoff. So, Eric, you are the man behind all the numbers, as always. The PFF Top 25, it is a unique look at college football and ranking teams. Give us the quick synopsis of what goes into these rankings.
Yeah, so you guys grade every play, every player on every play of every game. We take those grades, mash them together. We give you a rating for college football, and this is what you end up getting.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at, after 1 week, what we have here, the PFF Top 25. Again, the traditional Top 25s are generally, hey, this team won, you're going to stay where you were, right? You're 1-0, you're not going to move a whole lot. I think the key to look at here, the difference between our number 2, which is Wisconsin, and our number 6, Ohio State, as we were talking off camera, is really, really minuscule, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 1% of the rating system. So when we say that Wisconsin goes from 4 to 2, we didn't have them that much different than 2 to begin with, so they played slightly better than Georgia and Clemson, so they move around, but we really don't necessarily think that 2 is all that much different than 6, for example, with Ohio State here.
So if you guys were keeping up with our preseason Top 25, and we got plenty of feedback, of course, everybody's got their opinions. We heard a lot about how Michigan should have been higher, and Miami should have been higher, and we had LSU actually up at 11 when no one else was looking at LSU. So early on, the system was looking pretty good. So LSU absolutely destroys Miami, and then Notre Dame, who we did have above Michigan going into the week, does beat Michigan. Michigan now out of our top 25. How are those rankings shaping up right now?
Yeah, I think we have some big risers. For example, Iowa took care of business against Northern Illinois. They rise a little bit. South Carolina moves into our top 25 plus 5 in terms of their rating. So I don't know. I think in terms of pegging teams that did well, we had Washington ahead of Auburn, but worse than the AP poll. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with the way that these rankings did week 1 in terms of how the results ended up shaking out.
We also heard a lot about Michigan State, who's creeping into the top 10 in the national polls, and for us, still only at number 23. They were just outside the top 25. They struggled a little bit in a matchup that they probably should have dominated on Friday night against Utah State. So they creep into the top 23, into number 23, but still some question marks there compared to what people think nationally.
Yeah, and I think it's more about the teams that were ahead of them kind of doing, you know, from our grading perspective, doing a little worse. I think people just have to realize that, again, the rating system, the difference between 22 and 23 might not be the same as the difference between 6 and 7, for example.
No, that's fair. So let's look ahead to this week. We actually have 2 great videos already on the YouTube channel breaking down USC and breaking down Georgia. They're a couple of our teams of the week powered by Eckridge, and they are both in the 2 top 25 matchups of the week. So we have Georgia traveling to South Carolina. We love Georgia. We think they're a great team. There's going to be a challenge, though, going up against South Carolina. How are things looking here with your numbers and the rankings?
Yeah, so South Carolina, per our system, would be basically like a touchdown difference in terms of against Georgia at home, which is sort of a big uptick there. Whereas, you know, for example, Stanford would be, I think, 3 points in terms of difference from USC. Playing at home, you know, having a more experience at quarterback with KJ Costello, you know, we like them in that matchup as well.
When we look at these matchups, the way the system works out, how important is this matchup, say, for Georgia and South Carolina when it comes to our ranking system? How important are the matchups against other good teams versus, say, an Austin Peay like Georgia played last week?
Yeah, so South Carolina were able to beat Georgia straight up or play well. I think that their rating system would move up substantially. Whereas, you know, I think if Georgia were to lose to South Carolina, their rating would go down, but not as much as if they were to lose to Austin Peay.
Yeah, that makes sense. So there you go. We've got full breakdowns on Georgia, South Carolina on our Georgia video this week, and of course our full USC Stanford breakdown in our weekly USC video. That'll do it for your PFF Top 25, brought to you by Eckrich, the official smoked sausage of the College Football Playoff. Don't forget to pick up Eckrich smoked sausage at your local grocery store for this weekend's tailgate or home gate party, and make sure to visit EckrichFootball.com for great game day recipes and to enter their season-long $1 Million Challenge.